feel like I'm at a news desk. Honestly, the lighting is not great. Why? What am I sitting? That is just the most uncomfortable seat you've ever sat. Reporting live from Seattle, Washington. So in this episode, we're just going to talk about national costume, even though it ran back to back with swim and gown. Because there's a lot to talk about, and I am not even going to make you sit through all of this. That's not right. I'm going to share about my favorite national costumes in no particular order. We're going to mix this up a little bit. First, let's talk about this. What was going on at national costume with the camera angles? I'm going to say that I really hope we're working with a different stage for finals. I hope we're working with a completely different setup, because this was not the Miss Universe that I know. I was very, very underwhelmed by the staging for this and the camera angles. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was on a rocking boat. I don't understand what was happening or who needs to be fired for this. So I guess let's just talk about this. Ecuador had a huge costume. Oh my goodness. This was really cool, but I really liked the birds flying over the buildings. That was cool, even though they were not proportionate. Those would be giant birds if they were real. Brazil was covered in rhinestones, and this is to represent the gemstones that come from Brazil. Cambodia, gorgeous, always intricate, always stunning. I honestly feel like you kind of can't go wrong with a national costume from Cambodia. Just by nature of their traditional costumes, she's gonna look great on stage. Chile wore a Sábado Gigante national costume, and I love her for this. Absolutely love her. If you haven't seen it, SNL just did a skit with this, and it was so good, and it brought back childhood memories. I forgot about that show completely. I forgot my Nana would watch that, and she also loved Laura. Watch Laura. She loved that daytime talk show. Italy was fun. She paid a tribute to Italian cinema in the 60s, and the pieces of her dress were the film, and I thought that was very cute. China was a dragon. I am still waiting for China to come on stage and do, like the traditional dragon costumes, like with the big dragon behind. I feel like there would be a way to do that, or at least be the head of that dragon, because those are beautiful. One thing I'm going to say is that a lot of the costumes were very colorful, but the colors were not in a complementary or coordinating palette. It was just like the most random color choices, and I was not thrilled. Fiji, however, had a lot of cohesion in her color palette of this national costume, and there was a lot of intricate designs in the ruffles of this skirt, and I appreciated that. Denmark is a huge fan favorite, and I have to say she was really bringing it with this national costume. I haven't seen something quite like this for a Miss Denmark. She's out there. She's like, I'm coming for the crown. DR Congo's fabric, I'm pretty sure this is the same fabric that she actually wore to interview. Lovely. Egypt was Cleopatra, and I feel like Egypt just has some really cool history and potential for really awesome national costumes. So that's an advantage right there. Guadeloupe immediately caught my attention. She's gorgeous, but I do not understand the green national costume in connection to what it is. She's supposed to be a dormant volcano, and I'm familiar with this volcano, and I don't picture luscious greenery when I think volcanoes. I think volcanic rock. So I didn't understand that, but I really think she's lovely. Another thing I want to talk about, it looks like they created a rule this year that the ladies had to be able to completely carry their national costume, that there are no additional props, no pieces they can bring on stage with them. And frankly, now that we've seen that become a very common thing at Miss Grand International or at Miss Cosmo, I do feel like I actually prefer it. I prefer it. I've seen it with and I've seen without. And some people I know, I read in the comments and they're like, well, these aren't truly national costumes. I don't care. I love that at Miss Grand International, we're able to see costumes like Miss UK brought. That. I know it's large. I know it's impractical. But it was also dreamy and whimsical, and I was obsessed with it. There were so many cool national costumes. Miss Vietnam. Incredible. At Miss Cosmo. Now we don't get things like this if the ladies have to be able to carry these national costumes on stage. And I will say overall, we have seen more creative costumes. This, I would say, was a very off year for a national costume. Because there have been small costumes that I've loved. Like when Thailand won in the tuk-tuk. One of my favorite national costumes ever. And she carried that on stage, but there was more creativity behind it. Botswana had a more simple costume, but it's really her that does it for me. It's her. She's so beautiful. I love the presentation of this. Latvia, she came on stage as a giant coat of arms, and I can't recall seeing this before at a pageant, but I think it's a really smart move. I liked this. The Bahamas, bright, bold, beautiful, colorful. They typically come in with very large national costumes. This was lovely. Vietnam was cute with the umbrella and the confetti, and I like that she went with colors that we don't usually see, like the pinks and the purples. I don't think of that when I think of Vietnam. Dominican Republic was a queen of the sea. This was really beautiful. I don't know why it wasn't more blue. I feel like if we're gonna do sea costumes, we more so see blue colors, but she still looked lovely. Kazakhstan. This was bold. Those colors, they were so large. The print was so oversized. Beautiful. I loved this. This was memorable. This was one of my favorites. Belize was a deer. That is what I know about this national costume, and it was obviously very eye-catching. What I really like about Germany's national costume is normally we do see quite traditional costumes, but I like that she made it bigger. She made it larger than life. It looked quite oversized, and the colors were really bright and bold, kind of Rapunzel-esque. Those were the colors it was giving to me, and I thought it was really, really beautiful, very eye-catching. Guatemala was beautiful. Apparently her costume was made of this translucent mesh that resembles skin, and there was mention of it being sustainable. She was also a tree. She looked lovely as a tree. I think this was beautiful. Mauritius, another tree costume, but I will say she looked so beautiful in these colors. She was so vibrant. Didn't really look like a tree to me, but I liked this. Cuba was a goddess, and she's the protector of women and children, and the thing about her that was so eye-catching was just this color. Lovely, beautiful costume. Japan, I like this national costume, but I did not understand the connection to roller skating. Was it just for fun? I don't know. There was no mention of the roller skating or why she was doing it. Moldova, I thought that she did a really great job of taking traditional colors and embroidery and making them a bit larger than life. I do feel like a lot of European countries, they have less intricate national costumes, or they are intricate but at a distance you can't appreciate it, so you need to supersize it, make it bigger like she did. Honduras was cool because we have seen costumes where the ladies hold up pieces, but she dropped different parts of it 3 times, and you could see kind of like different parts of a story essentially being told through her costumes. That was neat. Indonesia, we're seeing another goddess themed costume. She's like this golden goddess, very beautiful. Uzbekistan, actually this one might be my favorite. Yes, this cape, the intricate embroidery designs on the outside, and then she opened it with these contrasting bright colors. Wow. Wow, and the headpiece, so stunning. I like how unique this was. I'd probably give her an award for national costume. New Zealand's national costume, the wings were very cool. They were kind of graphic looking to me. These wings reminded me very much of Australia's national costume in 2020, which I also loved. Laos, another country like Cambodia that has traditionally very intricate national costumes or traditional garb or traditional attire, and so by nature of that, I feel like their national costumes are always stunning. Oh gosh, I need to mention India. Our poor Miss India, my goodness, that costume was just too big. Too big. Her body could not carry the weight of that costume, and that is something that you have to consider with national costume. So you know that our hometown queen is going to be bringing something big. She has to, right? She is Mexico. And of course she brought something big. It was really fun. I like this. Lots of colors. It was very over the top, and honestly, it's what I was looking for. This is more of what I was expecting from the contestants overall. Myanmar was an owl, and there were so many details on this, and I think I would have liked it more if she didn't have so much trouble revealing it. Pakistan, another beautiful traditional look here. This is engagement attire. She looks stunning here. Really can't miss with this, and she looks so stunning facially as well. This national costume, I feel like, also just drew a lot of attention to her facial beauty. Trinidad and Tobago wore a big costume, and she was a colorful coral reef. Beautiful colors used. Loved it. What I really love about Puerto Rico's outfit is that, yes, she had this kind of oversized traditional dress, but I haven't seen lights used in this way. Her gown was illuminated from underneath, but you could actually see the outline of the flag in the gown. She's really working hard for this crown. She better be placing. Netherlands, she represented the blue and white ceramic. She even turned around for us. There were 2 sides of this. This was beautiful. Paraguay's outfit looked like dandelions behind her. And honestly, that kind of artistry is what I would have loved to have seen at this past year's Victoria's Secret show. A comeback with creative wings, so to speak, like that would have been incredible. Absolutely incredible. I also did do a recap for that. Should I share it? I haven't edited it yet. If you guys think I should still post it, let me know. Spain looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love the rose skirt. She also kind of went by way of like a showgirl type costume with this bodysuit look. She was just so stunning. Serbia is also a double-headed eagle representative of her country's coat of arms as well. Who would have thought? Love it. Zimbabwe's national costume was huge. It was massive. Beautiful wings. I also like that the wings were more of like a mosaic. Also, there was something attached to her skirt that was behind her, and I didn't catch what that was about, but she was lovely. I love that Venezuela came out, of course, in this big national costume, which typically we can expect from Venezuela. Like, they're going to show up. But her national costume was about a mother. So she had this little baby. It was this gold little baby. And I loved that. Norway's dress was just really pretty, but I like the meaning behind it. She was the Northern Lights. How cute. Singapore's costume, very pretty, and it is meaningful because it's about a princess who stepped in front of a knife to save her father's life, and she passed. Peru honors the sun god, but all I gotta say about her is that she is gold, glimmering, glamorous, and gorgeous in this. Russia was just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I should have known. I saw her somewhere at some event stepping off of the elevator in one of the most beautiful gowns. And she's just very well dressed, very beautiful. I have to talk about U.S. Virgin Islands. Beautiful national costume here. And I love the feathers on the boots. It was such a nice detail. She looked incredible. Philippines' outfit was about the Christianization of the country. We saw this beautiful ombre effect, though, in the fabric of this. So many little details in this beautiful dress. She actually turned for us, and there's a figure in the back. I don't know who that was. I don't know if that... I didn't catch it. It was pretty quick. I haven't looked back at it yet, either. Maybe it was Mary, but she looked beautiful in this. Sri Lanka was amazing. She had this big structure behind her. I believe that they said it was of a royal portrait or something along those lines, but she looks so pretty here. I love the flowers in the hair as well, the beautiful contrast against the darker wood colors behind her. She looked lovely. Turks and Caicos, obsessed with this. This is one of my favorite national costumes. She is water and a fish. The colors were beautiful. I like the size. I like the quality behind this national costume. She is stunning. Switzerland was the crystals of the snow, the icicles. I love that. We actually saw a lot of winter-themed national costumes this year. Very pretty. Well, friends, those are my thoughts for national costumes. Stay tuned for my recap of the preliminary competition. I have a lot to say. I'm sure you do too. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on that as well. Stay tuned in, and I'll see you very soon.